my sister just called me. I want to talk to her. I'm going to make this short then. I found myself in a heightened state of emotional turmoil because I felt shitty. And I thought I knew why. And I was telling myself a story about why that was, and winding myself up into greater and greater constriction. And that is superhuman. It's not like superwoman, superhuman. It's very human. It's a very human thing to do, to feel yucky inside. And our brain's so good at problem solving. We feel yucky inside, and so we're scanning our environment for the reason why we're feeling yucky, so that we can solve the problem and stop feeling yucky. And what I've come to understand deeper and deeper is that the circumstances I am in, the outside circumstances I'm in, really need not have anything to do with how I'm feeling inside. For example, my husband is Norwegian and I'm an American, and we have different passports, which means until we're in process right now in the immigration process in the United States, but until something happens, we can't stay in one place consistently. And that means our external circumstances are moving around a lot. And for me, it's a little bit, I don't like it. And I have stories about why I don't like it, because I moved around a bunch when I was a kid and blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, I feel yucky inside, and I don't know why. I really don't. My intellectual mind wants to make sense of it and say it's because our external circumstances are a little bit unpredictable, and that makes a lot of logical sense. But here's the problem with this. I freeze myself in a state if A plus B equals C. If A, our circumstances outside of us are unreliable, B, that means I have a yucky feeling. And since I can't change the circumstances, C, I am stuck with my yucky feeling. Do you see how that thinking pattern really makes you feel stuck? Made me feel stuck anyway. And I was saying it out loud to my partner at one point. I was saying, oh God, I feel so scared and so yucky because and he's like, stop right there. You don't know why. I don't know why. I don't need to know why. In fact, I had this amazing epiphany that I can have a super productive day, feel so good and in the flow, and if I start feeling yucky, I can just hang out. What I tend to do is to wind myself up about why I feel yucky, and then my state falls down below into fucking hopelessness. But if I just hang out right here with, I don't know why I feel yucky, I don't need to know. Hang on, I'm going to get interrupted. Hi, I'm doing a live. I'll be up in a minute. Love you, bye. I can hang out right there and recognize that I feel less than 100% myself, and that I need slow time and rest and naps and to take good care of myself, and not to judge myself for feeling yucky. And this There's a plethora of very caring things I could do for myself right there that are very different than believing my thinking about what is making me feel yucky and then going and doing a bunch of stuff to change that. Doing a bunch of stuff to change my external circumstances because I think that's why I feel yucky. It really doesn't work. Sometimes we just feel yucky and we don't need to know fucking why. It's not because of childhood trauma. In fact, the more you tell yourself about that story, the more real it becomes. If you want to stop going to therapy and use the money you spend on therapy on art supplies instead, for example, all you got to do is practice this right here. I feel shitty, don't know why, don't need to know why. It will pass is the thing. Whatever thoughts you're thinking that are making you feel shitty, that you're not conscious of, you don't need to worry about what they are because they're probably not true. And the state that you work yourself up into is not a good state to try to figure things out from anyway. So when you're feeling yucky and you just sit with it, eventually that yucky feeling will pass and something new will come. Some different thing will come. That's the nature of thinking. That's the nature of emotion. It's how life works. It will pass. And then you're going to find yourself back in a good feeling inside of yourself. Nothing in your circumstances changed. And your view of the whole thing is a lot more flexible, mobile, malleable, because you didn't spend a bunch of time re-enrolling yourself in your stories about why you feel shitty. So anyway, I want to empower everybody here to be a little bit more suspicious of the stories you're telling yourself about why you might be feeling shitty. My favorite one was, my uterus is tilted and my ovaries aren't producing progesterone and my hormones are fucked up. What the fuck is that story? What can I do about that? Nothing. I can vaginal steam, which I love to do, but wouldn't that practice be a lot more enjoyable if I wasn't chasing after something wrong with me and could just sit on that steam pot and enjoy it? So changing your circumstances is not going to make you feel better. There's nothing that you need to do about feeling yucky. It will pass. And guaranteed, whatever you're thinking, consciously or subconsciously, you don't need to believe it. It doesn't define you. And you don't even need to change your thinking. You can just wait for the next good feeling to come. That's not necessarily, there's a distinction here, that's not necessarily about what you're thinking. It's about some innate wisdom, something deeper moving through truth. Has a very different tacit feeling, sensation, physical body sensation than untrue thinking. In fact, I would go so far as to say you're feeling yucky because you're thinking something that's not true. Now, what's the point of going in there spelunking around in your bullshit thinking to try to figure out which thought's not true so that you can do something to change it? That's just going to make you feel worse. So if you're feeling yucky, don't know why, think you know why, just be very suspicious, slow down, take care of yourself, and wait, smell some flowers, go make a painting, slow down, let yourself feel yucky for a bit, and then just rest into the knowing that it will pass and it will change and you'll feel better and you'll feel alive and light and back in your power soon. It's just how life works. It's just how your body works. It's just the nature of thought. Anyway, love you guys. Discuss.